and I know you're making the distinction, and hopefully our listeners understand the difference between an abduction. This is clearly an abduction. This is not something like where somebody feigns an abduction, but the victim is still in the house, for example. This is an actual abduction, but what makes it a kidnapping is if somebody is demanding a ransom, and that's the distinguishing factor. And here, the ransom demand did not come immediately. It did not go to the family. Was not left at the site of the abduction, and it was sent to the media. And all those things distinguish this case from the ones that were actually real. And so in our minds, it doesn't appear to be an actual kidnapping for ransom with a profit motive. And so, and as we have discussed before, there are other motives that could be potentially possible. And one is revenge, one is some kind of fixation on Samantha or Nancy, and another is some kind of personal cause that is just not obvious to anybody outside of that circle. So there are a number of things it could be. And all of those things would be, knowing which one of those things it was would be very helpful in terms of resolving this case. So, like you said, if they publish these letters, and I don't know why it's important that they keep them private. If they're trying to actually use the public, don't see any reason why they can't publish the entire letters unless there's some kind of really horrific details in there that they'd want to protect, the family's privacy about.
Ray, I'm going to turn it over to you, but just the 6-month anniversary is coming up. It will be nice on August 1st, 6-month, an awful anniversary of the day Nancy was abducted. And it'd be nice if maybe they'd put this package together. And as we all know here, you can leave certain statements out or signatures or something at the very bottom that only the law enforcement and the author knows. So that way, any copycats that come in or attempt to come in, you would know those differences. But Ray, do you want to kind of wind this part down? Are there any other questions or observations?
You hit on something that I want to mention, but I think that the abduction itself, I thought was somewhat organized. But I think the communications, if they were sent by the same individuals, were very disorganized. And you said something too, Jim, that led me to believe, we're talking about all these older abductions and kidnappings and the notes that are for ransom. And that's the way things used to be done. But with the outset of these video games and these other things, sometimes I wonder if this was kind of set up by the offender or offenders as somewhat of a game.